Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Time again for this week's fly pattern. This week we're going to tie a wet fly. This is a pheasant tail, a beadhead pheasant tail wet. And a pretty simple fly to tie actually. This one I actually tied with an Highland green pheasant tail, just for an olive looking pattern. Blue-winged olives, it's winter time here. March now, so the blue-winged olives are coming off on the nicer days, but I'm going to tie this in the regular pheasant tail pattern and regular color, natural. You can tie this in all the different colors and it gives you a different look, but it's the same fly, and just it helps match your patterns a little bit better. What we're going to start out with is some 70 denier brown ultra thread, and I'm tying this on a size 16 Hackle hook. We're using our competition hooks again, going with the barbless hook. This is an H230BL, size 16, like I said. The bead I'm using is a gold tungsten bead, 3/32, and you don't have to use your tungsten, you can use the brass, that'll do just fine. It's not about getting the fly down here. I do use this on my nymph leader, and I'll use it as the top fly, as a dropper above my anchor fly, and I actually catch a fair amount of fish. I like fishing with a dropper on my nymph leader, especially during a hatch. I pick a good many up on partridge and flash as a good one, but this one will be a good one too. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut off some pheasant tail fibers from the center tail, and I'm going to get about 6 or 8 fibers there. And we're going to lay it down against the hook. We're going to go about the shank length of the hook to make the tail. And we're just going to start it out on top. A couple loose wraps. Get it up on top. Get it to the length I want it. I'm going to pull a little shorter. And that's about where I want it. I don't want the tail too long. We're just going to wrap it back to the bend. I don't want it to wrap past the bend where it'll fall down over the bend of the hook. And then we're going to cover that up with thread, and I'm going to leave the rest of the pheasant up there. This one I'm doing a little bit different. This is a little bit different technique you can use to tie a pheasant tail. I'm going to use copper wire next. And I'm building up a little bit of thread, a little bit of body to the abdomen here with my thread. Next we're going to put on some wire, and I'm using small gold ultra wire for this one, because I'm using the small because it's size 16, so I don't really need bigger, like a size brassy. This will do just fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it down on the side closest to me. You'll see why here in a second. We'll tie it down on the side closest to me and wrap it back to where I ended my wraps for the tail there. And then we're going to wrap it back to the front. And we'll just pull our wire back out of the way. And I'm going to put my thread up here behind the bead and in front of the pheasant tail fibers. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this pheasant tail. And I'm going to wrap it back towards the tail. Okay, and we're going to wrap it, I'm going to wrap it away from me. And wrap it around the hook and keep wrapping it back. The reason you're going to wrap it away from you is here in a second. When I get it back here to the tail, instead of using thread to tie my tail down, what we're using is the brass wire, copper wire. So we're going to take our wire and we're going to wrap down that pheasant tail fibers and pull them down and hold them in place with our brass wire. So it's important that you wrap the pheasant tail fibers away from you so that you can trap it down correctly the right way. And then we're just going to rib this up here to the front again. About 3 wraps. That'll be enough to hold it in place. Just twist it off. Then we'll come in and cut off our tag ends there. Okay, now you just build up a really nice pheasant tail body with using the brass wire to tie it down. Just a different technique, a different way of doing things. Next thing we're going to use is I'm going to take a peacock eye, and these nice feathers here towards the eye, I'm going to take one of these fibers off. I like these are a little bit shinier and a little bit fuller than the ones down on the end, and they're a little bit smaller too. The fiber lengths are smaller since we're tying a smaller fly. Now when you look at this, you're going to see the top side is real glossy. The bottom side is real dull. What we're going to tie it is I'm going to tie it with the glossy side facing me. I'm going to tie it down onto the hook on the side there. The glossy side up is what it's going to end up being. Okay, just tie that down, cut that little tag off. Now I'm just going to wrap this on. And tying it that way will get these fibers to stand out a little bit better. And I'm going to wrap over top of it itself a couple times just to build it up a little bit there. And make a nice little collar with this peacock herl. Alright, once you get that wrapped down good, you can pull that off. And then it doesn't hurt to put a wrap or two through there just to secure it into place. You're not really going to see it real well once you get the hackle on here. Now, one of the other things we just got in at the shop here is we got some grade 2 partridge skins, which are a little bit cheaper, a little bit more affordable, and it's the same quality skin. It's just some of the feathers might be pin feather, more of them are pin feathers, or might have a bad spot in it, but you're still going to get tons of good feathers out of it. So we're going to use a partridge feather next. Okay, see the nice barring that comes with the partridge feather? That's why these are so popular in wet fly as a hackle for a wet fly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch the ends, just catch the end of it there, and peel all the fibers back so you just have a little tag. And we're going to tie this tag down. I'm going to clip the end of it off to make a smaller tag. Okay, see how I got a small tag? I'm going to tie that little small tag down right behind the bead. Okay, and then I'm just going to wrap it in there tight, get my hackle pliers, and then get the stem of the hook, which I pulled all the fluff back off that hook. And we are going to palmer this around here, and I'm going to pull the feathers, always pulling the feathers back so they face backwards, and they lay back over the rest of the fly. And then once you make like 2 wraps there, I got it on, I'm clear up to the shaft of the feather. Then I'm just going to tie it off. Make sure I caught it there. And then come in and whip finish. And that is all that's to this fly. It's really simple. Once you get the steps down, you can hammer these things out. And this is a fish catching fly. This is a generic wet fly pattern. It'll imitate a lot of mayflies. Tying it in this size especially is a good mayfly imitation. Mayflies, a lot of them are like a brownish black color, so you get that with the peacock. With the pheasant tail there. So tie it in whatever color pheasant tail you have. Like I said, I'll be using the green as an imitation of an olive, and using this for just about everything else. If you like this fly, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Check it out. Check out our website, holsingersflyshop.com, for all the materials to tie it. And thanks again for watching, guys. I really enjoy bringing these to you, and can't wait to bring you another one next week.